Well, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am getting back to you now with another little gift that you can make for, especially for this time of year. They can be for Christmas gifts and for any other gift giving that you're going to be giving. You're going to be able to make some little gift bags out of our patterned paper, which we at Stampin' Up! Call Designer Series paper. And we are going to be getting down to this here in one moment. I'm going to be putting the camera down so that you can see some ideas. I have to mute something though first. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. I forgot to turn off the sound on my computer. Oh, goodness. It is busy time of year. We're getting ready for Christmas, so let's concentrate on one of our projects that we can make that is something that you can do, that you can vary the size of these bags, and they're so cute. I hope you like it, and hopefully you'll find that useful for something that you can make to kind of dress up some of those gifts that you give to others. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. One moment. All right, here we have one example. I have many more that I'm going to be showing you at the end of the show here. And I'm going to be making a little bag like this. I have some tissue, and you can put gift cards, all kinds of smaller gifts in there. And this is, I think our paper here has a ruler on it. So this one happens to be about 4 by 4.5 inches, and this one's kind of that a dressier type of maybe for an adult or that kind of thing. I did make a little tag to go along with it, and this one has the gold foil and just kind of more of a muted look to it. And I did stamp a little bit on the tissue as well, so that kind of helps dress it up too. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make one of these, and then I can show you how to kind of vary the sizes and make it to be different sizes according to what you're going to be giving as a gift. All right, let's start with our paper. I'm going to make you we're going to make a similar one here, but I just want to vary it up a little bit, use a little bit different paper. You can use whatever designer series paper you have. This one happens to be kind of a metallic foil, but it kind of looks like wood. So this would be definitely something that you could, give to a guy or anyone actually. And it's just going to be kind of a bag that has this foil look to it. And so let's bring in our trimmer here. And what we're going to do is you're always going to start off your project with 2 pieces of paper that are the same size. So I am going to cut this down to, this is a 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper. I'm going to cut it in half at 6 inches, and we won't need half of it here. And this one I'm going to cut in half again then to make 2 6-inch squares. All right, and this is what we're going to be using to make our bags, and they're kind of like a box too, sort of. But what you're going to do is you're going to want to take a look at your paper and know that a little bit of one side of it is going to show. As you can see, we do show a little bit of the other side of your paper, so that is going to be a little bit noticeable, but just a very small band. And if your paper is directional, then you're going to want to make sure that it is going the right direction. If this was going to be your paper for your bag, for example, you want to make sure you didn't score it to go like so, obviously, right? This one, you could go either way with it, so I don't think it really matters. However, this piece is going to flip over like so, and that may not be how I want it to look. So if I go here, yep, that looks better. That's at least the tree is going the right direction. So I know that I want this to be my top, okay? You're going to be doing the same scoring on both pieces of your paper, so you're going to want to make sure they're both going the same direction because they're going to make the sides of your box. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it so that this edge that I know is going to be my top, this is going to be scored first, and I'm going to keep that one going the same direction off on the side. And I'm going to start off by making That first score mark, you can do it either way, but I am just going to do this at, you can do it whatever you want, however big of a flap or a turnover you want on there. I'm just going to opt to go, let's make this one a little bigger. I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch along that top. So I'm putting this right edge here on the on the 3/4 of an inch line. And then I'm using the scoring blade really lightly because you don't want to cut through your paper. And I scored at that 3/4 of an inch. And then you can determine how deep you want your box to be. And you can see this one was about an inch. And I'm just going to make mine 3/4 of an inch all the way around just to show you a little different size. But what my point is, whatever you do on this first sheet, just copy this exactly on the second one, and that's going to give you the varying sizes. So I am just going to go 3/4 of an inch all the way around, and then that is going to be how deep the actual box is as well. So depending on what you need, you can vary that. If you have something that's a little bit deeper and thicker, you know, you would want to make it bigger. I think I've done it up to 1¼ inches, but if you use bigger pieces of paper, then you would be able to, you know, vary it also. Just kind of experiment a little bit, and you'll see that I did that a little bit. I'll show you some samples afterwards. And you can just kind of get different sizes depending on how you score that. And just to make sure that I don't forget, I am going to fold this top edge over so that I make sure that I have this as my top edge. And now bringing in this second piece to do the exact same thing. I am scoring it using the scoring blade, which is this one on our trimmer. If you don't have a scoring blade on your trimmer, you can use a scoreboard and score it, or you can use a ruler if you need to do that as well. This makes it pretty quick and easy. So I'm going to go, like I said, 3/4 of an inch again, lightly scored all the way around. Okay, a little bit more here. All right. And thank you for tuning in again tonight to my today to my channel. I am Teresa with Keep in Touch Crafts, and that's not what I want as my top. There we go. This one is. All right, so it's going to be the same as this. And there we go. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I absolutely love Stampin' Up! And the fun that we have with it. It's kind of a community, and we just have a good time just helping each other learn new things and sharing ideas and that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun. All right, I am going to show you then the next part of this. So we have 2 of these pieces, and they are going to be cut just a little bit differently. What I'm going to do right now, though, is get my bone folder in here, and let's go ahead and reinforce and score on all of those score lines all the way around so that we know exactly where those lines are and where we need to cut and how big things are going to be, that kind of thing. Okay, and on the second one, this is that flap that goes around the top, so I'm going to leave that folded over so that it can kind of get used to being that way. This just helps you to have good creases on your paper so that it's nice and crisp edges there. All right, so this is what you're going to do. Grab your paper snips. And where did I put mine? Okay, here they are. The first one you're going to take, and there are these little corners right here where the lines intersect. The score lines are intersecting. I don't know if you can see it. You see that corner? I am going to snip that corner off. All right, and then I'm going to do the same on this other corner here. And I'm just cutting right on those score marks where they intersect to take out that little corner square on each side. Okay, so this is how it looks now on one of the papers. Now the other one's going to be similar, but it is going to be different. You're going to think of making tabs on this one. And what I'm doing here then is, instead of, when I cut here, instead of cutting the whole thing off, I'm going to leave it attached and just cut a little wedge out. And that's making a tab, okay? And we're going to make a tab on this side as well. And just cutting that little bit of a sliver out of there. And that makes it so you don't have any buckling when you're adhering your bag together. And now what we're going to do is put adhesive on these little tabs, okay? Adhesive, what do you like? Well, you can use the Tombow liquid adhesive. You can use, oh, what else do we have that would be good? Glue dots would work well, at least for the tabs. You could also use our snail. Oh, I keep calling it snail, don't I? It is our seal. That's what it is. Seal adhesive would work really well also. So I'm just going to put a little of our liquid adhesive there on those flaps. Here's this corner, and you're just going to tuck it down and have a nice mitered corner here like that. And with this glue, it lets you wiggle it around and get it into place a little bit, but I'm also thinking of pressing that together well so that we have a nice square corner here. And then I'll do that on this side also, getting that corner to match up, and then just kind of holding it while the glue starts to really grab, and I'm pressing down on those little tabs there to get them into place. So this is half of our bag. And then the other one, like this, I think of this one without the corners here. It kind of like wraps around the first one that we did. So that's how I think of this as wrapping around. Then this will be the front, and it wraps around to this back piece. So it's going to go over top of the back one that we just made. So that means that we need to put adhesive on all three of the outer panels, and then that is going to adhere onto that other piece that we just made. So I am going to put a little bit of the adhesive on those three sides. I'm just putting a little bit. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot, but when I'm pressing down with the tip, so that just a little bit is coming out. So I don't want to have too much that it oozes out. And what I'm going to do then is wrap it and around the other one like so. So I'm just kind of putting this into place and getting it where we want it, okay? And I'm pressing this corner up really well, getting this to match up as close as we can so that this won't show like a seam as much then. So we're getting it nice and squished onto there. Press it down as best you can for now. We'll be pressing it a little more in a minute here. And we are going to make this guy let go a little bit. And just kind of move it around to get it into place. Okay. And I'm just kind of pressing down to try to get that adhesive to really stick well. And I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of press it down on the inside here. And then I'm going to press on those outside flaps also. Okay. And that is how easy it is to actually make this portion of it. Super easy. You can do it with any paper you have. Even if you don't have patterned paper, it would work fine. I am going to adhere down some of these little corners here just to make sure they're nice and stuck down and not flapping up at all, and try to meet them up as close as I can. And this side I might do a little more. You could decide if you would want to adhere this flap down or not. You can just decide to or not, whatever you prefer, because it doesn't look bad in my opinion with it. Since it is folded over, it kind of just adds a little decorative layer there. Up to you. If you are bothered by that kind of sticking up a little, then you could always adhere that down also, all the way around if you'd like. I'm just going to leave it for now. Okay, that's kind of the basis of it. Okay, Next, you want to get a paper punch. This one, I believe, is a 1/8 of an inch punch. And I'm just going to punch a hole on each side for the ribbon to go into, like so. And do that on this side also. Alright, so this is the basic part of our box. We're going to do some decorating and other things here too in a moment. Alright, what are we going to bring in? So you can decorate your projects any way you want. One way I'm going to do with this one tonight is I'm going to use Encircled in Warmth. And I'm using this Warm Christmas Wishes on there. That's what I had showed you in our first example. I'm using that one on this too. You can see there. Encircled in Warmth. And that has a die set that goes with it. That's these gorgeous dies. Just beautiful. They have all kinds of intricate patterns on them and sizes and shapes. And they're called Encircled in Beauty dies. There was also a set in our annual catalog of stamps that weren't Christmas related, but this is also just another option to use with these dies. I use them all the time. They have paper all stuck in them. That's because I use them a lot. I just really feel like they kind of are showstoppers on their own. I did go ahead and stamp this in Evening Evergreen, and I embossed it in clear over top. So this is heat embossed powder that goes on top of that. Again, the decorating part is, you know, it's the fun part, but it also it just doesn't matter if your project might look totally different than this, and you may want to decorate it in a totally different way. But this is just one example. And what I did then is I used the same deep green color here, that Evening Evergreen, and I cut it out with that die. And this is just the outside die that I used on the basic gray. And I'm going to be adhering this then onto this piece, like so. It's just a different color scheme. Honestly, I wanted to use my silver foil, but I didn't realize I had already used it all up. So I was kind of bummed at myself for doing that. But what I'm going to do now is just take some of that liquid adhesive, and I am going to put that just here and there on this die piece. You don't want to have too much ooze out again, like I was saying before, because you don't want it to get all shiny, and that's what can happen. But if that does happen, then you can use like a anti-static powder bag if you have something like that, or even like a little bit of cornstarch or something. And that kind of cuts down on the shininess if it accidentally goes through to your other side on the front. There are things you can do. You can use a gum eraser also to take that adhesive off of your project if you have that later on. So you can be as careful or not as you want with this. Another thing you could do is you could just put some of this on a sponge and then dab it all around on there. I just want to make sure it kind of sticks where I put it. And I'm going to line this up with this gray piece here. And let's see where we're going here. Okay, I'm just going a little bit too fast. There we go. Liquid adhesive is great because it doesn't grab immediately. You get a little bit of wiggle room to put it into place. Okay, so here is that pretty die cut piece, and then I am going to put dimensionals on the back of this one. Dimensionals make it just pop up a little bit, add a little bit of texture and depth. I'm going to use 4. I guess I'm going to use 5. I accidentally got another one. All right. So let's remove these little liners that are on there. And that's going to expose the adhesive, and that'll just make them stick right into place there. And I'm going to stand back up for this now and make sure I can see what I'm doing. And we'll just put that right in the center and give it a little press. Okay. then this can get adhered onto the front of our bag like so. And you could even do this with dimensionals also, but I just think the one layer kind of popped up was enough for me anyways. Do what you like. Some pine trees would be nice on this also. If that's the kind of, you know, if you have some embellishments like that, or just whatever you have, whatever kind of paper you're using or your theme, you can do whatever you want with that. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to adhere on just a little ribbon handle. This is really pretty ribbon. Oh, I suppose it's not opened yet. Okay, well, I will open it then. I have stocked up on this one because it just is gorgeous. You can also color it with your blends markers if you want it to be a color. Like I could just do the green, and then that would really, should we try it actually? So then you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You wouldn't have to do that either. I'm just kind of guessing at how much I'm going to need here. So I am cutting off a piece that is, what do we got? About 12 inches. And what I'm going to do is show you how to color that with our blends markers. You could use the dark or the light. These come in sets of 2, and each one has a light and a dark, and then 2 different tips, the brush end or the bullet point. And so I'm going to use the brush tip on this one. You only have to put your ink on one side of the ribbon. It just kind of soaks right through. I'm going to make a big mess on my paper here, but that's what it's for, I guess. And just give that a little color here. And you don't really have to even do a perfect job, and the alcohol in these markers just kind of pretty quickly evaporates off, and then it looks pretty even and pretty nice. Just a little bit messy, I guess. Okay, I think we're getting there. Then you're just going to want to let it dry a little bit while you're putting your cap back on, that kind of thing. And we'll move it over here. So I'm going to let that dry a bit. It's probably almost dry already. It doesn't take a long time. I did want to put on some a little bit of bling. These are our subtle shimmer sequins, and they're really pretty. They're kind of that silver, that white, kind of a pearl look to them. There's different sizes, that kind of thing. Really nice with this paper. And so then I'm going to use a tool that we have. I hope we have a thing called a Take Your Pick tool, and it's pretty nice for doing sequins. And oh, if I'm not going to find it, I'm going to be mad at myself. I always keep it in the same place, and it's probably like right in front of me, and I just don't see it. I just like have to have that tool. Oh goodness. Well, you're going to see how fun it is without the Take Your Pick tool, I guess. I don't know where I put it. Not fun. All right, I'm going to put some dots here and there of glue, and then I'll put the sequins on there. You can just do wherever you want. I'm just putting a little bit of glue there. And we'll put a little sequins on there. Let's see here. Seriously, I never do this without my tool. Oh, I'm just bummed. I see one of I have 2 of them, and they have different ends on them. So I only see the other one. And we'll put that little guy on there. It's upside down, but I'm going to leave it. I just want it to be shiny. And let's find this one. We'll put a little bit of glue on it. And we'll put that one maybe right here. All right, like so. I might need a white one. Easier said than done. Oh, brother. They go flying all over. this is really a bummer. I feel like I have two left feet, two left hands. I don't know if I'm right-handed. When I'm using these without we have a tool that has a little bit of a piece of putty on the end of it, and it just picks these up and just puts them right wherever you want them, and it makes it a lot easier. Oh, that one stuck right to my finger. I don't know that I've ever even done it without it. I'm spoiled. Okay, geesh. I have issues with this. Please just go there and stay. It's upside down. Isn't that pretty? All right, there you go. This is real life here, you know, guys. It's not pretty sometimes. All right, and then we're going to make a tag that's going to go on the side, a to and from type of a tag. You wouldn't have to do it. You could also put it on the other side of this if you'd rather, like a to from on there. I am going to use a punch that we have that's called Essential Tag Punch. And what colors do we want to use here? I have the Evening Evergreen. Here's a big sheet of that I was using. I'm going to punch out, let's see, I'll do 2 of this one. And I will do, I need the lighter gray maybe. I could even do the matching, that's what I'll do, the matching wood tone DSP that I put to the side here somewhere. I'll punch a little bit of this out. Okay. I'm going to actually do maybe another one of those, just you'll see why. Okay. So then, if you have a to and from, you could stamp that on there if you want, or you could just kind of write it on there too, you know, if you have the handwriting that you like, that it doesn't bother you to do that. But I do want to show you can mat something that's the same size by just kind of splitting that and stretching it out like so. That's kind of what I usually tend to do a lot of the times when I have a punch. If I don't have a lot of sizes, then you can just do that and cut it and do that. So I'll kind of show you that a little bit. I'll put some glue on the top and the bottom. I just want a little bit of it to show, like that. And then on the bottom, we'll do the same thing. Okay, and about the same amount. And the purpose of, you know, cutting both of these out again is I can copy the same thing. I can either do the same thing so that both sides look just like this, or I could just do the back and just kind of hide that little seam. You could do kind of like that maybe, but I just don't think that looks all that professional or finished, maybe is more the word I was looking for. So we'll have a kind of a two-sided tag on here that we'll do. I'm going to put it on this actually. A little bit of glue on each end. I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here if it doesn't make sense yet. I'm just mimicking the other side. I'm mimicking the front onto the back. So I'm just going to try to match it up so that you can't even really see that it was two-sided. And we'll do that on this bottom piece then. Kind of getting there. You can always do a little trimming with a paper trimmer or your snips also afterwards if you want. And then this side I'm just going to put it on here so you can see they'll be looking the same on each side then. Sometimes it's not easy to explain, it's easier to show. Okay, so now this is really going to match our bag really nicely. And we'll use that same hole punch then to punch a hole on the top to be able to thread some string on there. And I don't really like this edge, it just is showing just a little bit. Just trimming that a little bit. Make sure both sides look okay. Punching. Let's see, I think I usually go like that. Okay, where am I going? Right about here. Okay, then I'm going to cut a length of our silver. We have a package of silver and gold. What's it called here? Simply Elegant trim, and it comes in the gold and it comes in the silver. So I'm going to use silver on this one, and I'm just going to be able to tie this onto our handle then in a moment. I'm just going to cut a little piece off. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach our ribbon here. I'm just taking this end and I'm going to push it through here and grab it and pull it in. And I'm going to put a knot in one end here then. This is pretty. I like the green. It's such a deep color, and then with that opalescent like shimmer on there. Oh, it's really pretty. Looks kind of like glitter ribbon. It's kind of glittery, which you know I love glitter. Anything glitter, I like it. And then we're going to push it through here. We could go ahead and put our tag, you know, kind of attach it right away before we put our other end through the actual project. We could just kind of make a little loop. You could make a bow as well, or whatever you prefer on there, but I just kind of want it to be hanging on the side. I am going to trim this down a little bit. Okay, put that on there. I just want to try to keep the ribbon not turned, you know, and not keep it from turning over and being all, you know, back and forth. We want to keep it smooth. Okay, I can do this. I can do it. Grab it. Okay, we'll push that through that hole there, whether it wants to go or not, and then we can adjust the length, you know, to kind of just see how far. If I don't want it that long, I can make that knot, you know, in a different spot on there, but I think that's pretty good. So I want that to be right around this point here. So I can just pretty much make it towards the end of that ribbon, and that was about right. Just a knot, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Okay, so here I would be attaching, or I would probably take some foil, the silver embossing powder, and then we could make a to or a from or that kind of thing on there. That would work pretty well, I think. We could put a little bit more of these on there too. We could, you know, just make it glitter or whatever. Jason, I'm kind of busy. We have a little kitty here that's pawing at me. Want to see what he's doing? Jason, what are you doing? What are you doing? Can you see him? He's trying to get up here. Yeah, he likes to craft with me, so I'll have to indulge him here in a little bit. But right now we got to finish up. I'm going to show everyone. I'm not going to do anything more with the tag or anything, because that is just however you want to do it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just put a little bit more bling on there and you're good to go. If you do have any tissue, you could stamp something on there to match. Oh, what are you doing? You want to show with me? Okay, so here are a bunch of other samples. These are, now you can see, these were both the same size paper. Whoops. And so they were both 6 by 6. This one was 1 inch all the way around, and then a 1/2 inch for the one edge. So what I'm saying is, score, the top part that folds over. This one was only a 1/2 inch, and this one was, I had done 3/4 of an inch. And then I did all the sides around the 3/4 as well on this piece. They do not always have to be the same. Such as this one was 1/2 inch on one side, on that top edge, and then it was a whole 1 inch all the way around. So you can determine and try different sizes depending on what you want to be putting in there. But you can see this, it's quite a bit of a different size. And I'll show you some others too. Here is a cute one. Oh, I just love this one. This had the 1 inch and 3/4 of an inch on the top. And this is so cute. Here's a little tag on here that has some of our green felt. This is a set that we have that has the little the pets on there, and you can color them, and then you can peek over the edge. They're so cute. So here is one. You could put your doggy's little treats in there or something, and he'd probably destroy it, right? So that is another one. So here are some more. I've just been having fun just trying different sizes and that kind of thing. This one is quite a bit deeper, and if you would want your bag, now it's a smaller bag, but it's 1.5 inch all the way around on this one. So you can kind of see it's a lot more of a stocky type of a bag. And then I had also decorated there, and Joyful Season, and just a little tag with the to and from on there. And what else do we got? Here is another pack of our paper that we have, and I just punched out a little tree on there. We have a tree punch that just easily punches out these trees here. I'll show you. The pine tree, the tree punch. And so I just punched out 2 of those, and I used one of them to make a tag. The to and from is on there. And we have, of course, our tissue, and this one I used 1, 2, 3, I think it was 3 different pine tree punches, and then I scored them down the center and then glued them together, a panel, a side panel of each one together, and then that gives it a little more dimension, and it kind of sticks up that way. Okay, and here, and another one. Now this one I used, some of this was from our paper pumpkin that we had in October. Had this beautiful paper on there that is just so like grays and muted tones, kind of very similar to, in fact, it's based off of the same paper pack, but these go together well. But I thought that was really a pretty one too. This paper that we had in our paper pumpkin was one-sided paper, and so that meant the flap was just white, but that, again, I thought that really matched well. And you can see this one was quite a bit smaller. I did a 1/2 inch all the way around on that one. You can use paper that's rectangular as well. You could, but just make sure your 2 pieces are the same. And then here's another little one. I wanted to make one that's kind of gift card size. And this is some more of our paper that we have right now. I used the same tag punch, but I didn't layer it or anything. That would have the to and from on there. And we have some of our little pieces from our point. We have a set. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Oh, I had it right here, but what are the chances I would still? Not good. Okay. I'm going to have that down in the description. How's that? Unless I find it right here. Sorry, guys. I thought I was organized. This is the stamp set that goes with this paper pack. The Peaceful Cabin stamp set is what comes with it. And that is where I have the For You. That's where I got For You from when I had done the original, this one. And I had used the For You on there. So that's kind of a nice set too. Any of these would go really well on a piece. You could stamp the cabin there on a rectangular square piece, and it wouldn't have to be this cutout. You could do whatever you happen to have as well. And yeah, I think that's all I have for now. Okay, I hope that made sense. I hope that I am explaining it all to you well enough so that you understand kind of how to make it, and that hope it was clear. Let me know if you have any questions, please. I am happy to clarify anything that you need. Hopefully this will be something that you could appreciate using for coworkers or family members, stocking stuffers, treat bags, gift card holders, all of those goodies for Christmas. And any other gifts that you need. You could make these year-round for whatever that, a shower or whatever you're doing. And I'm going to be bringing more Christmas ideas and preparation ideas to you very soon here. And this was the second one, I think, in my series. And next week I'm going to show you some more. So tune in soon. Thank you for joining me and for watching. And happy crafting. Keep it